In the heart of the Arabian Peninsula lies a sea of sand stretching beyond horizons. This is a place where every grain of sand has witnessed centuries of resilience. And yet, even here, the balance is fragile. The United Nations Goodwill Ambassadors Baaba Maal, Ricky Kej and Modja have come to Saudi Arabia to record music together and to learn about the kingdom's efforts in combating desertification. Their journey begins in the capital, Riyadh. Saudi Arabia, a nation shaped by the settling of sand and nomadic people groups in an arid climate. The world gathers to confront an ancient and escalating challenge: desertification. Here at COP16, the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification leads an assembly of urgency. 1/3 of the Earth's land is degraded, rendering desert land uninhabitable. This harsh reality threatens the lives of over 3 billion people on our planet.
When you think of forests, you don't think of a bad thing. But when you think of deforestation, you're worried. When you think of deserts, you shouldn't think of a bad thing. But if they become desertified, meaning that human impacts degrade the land, then you've got a big problem because you have water scarcity linked to that. That's what desertification is. We're talking about 100 million hectares of land each year is no longer as productive as it was, and some of it is out of production. That's a lot of land. At the same time, we've already converted 75% of our land to human use, and we're still converting. So you're burning the candle at both ends. That's what is so relevant in the UNCCD context. We have to stop that land conversion, and we have to use land much more sustainably. And that makes this a very, very good place for addressing the problem because they have both sides of it. They know what it can be to have a dry land, natural and very vivacious, and they also know how easily that can be broken.
We are facing a crisis, and actually we are in a crisis. So we are here in Riyadh to actually bring negotiators from 197 parties, 196 countries, plus the European Union, just to negotiate.
Deserts are unique ecosystems, right? And probably the name and saying combating desertification sounds like we are combating these unique ecosystems. And it is not the case. Actually, what the convention addresses is land degradation. And this is the problem. This is what this convention does. It's really taking care of protecting, restoring, and managing the source of life, which is land.
The UNCCD Goodwill Ambassadors come from different corners of the world, regions that are plagued with the effects of desertification in real time. As musicians who leverage art to bring awareness, they arrive in Saudi Arabia, each carrying a unique voice and purpose to converge and amplify a message.
Land is what we walk on. Land is where we grow our food. Our fibers that we wear are grown on our land. Land is something that has always been taken for granted, and I think that's the reason why these COPs are so important.
The desert is something that we should live in harmony with, but it's taking a lot of things from us. So being here is very important to unite our forces and do something that could benefit everyone.
Among the COP16 attendees is Sharaan for the Royal Commission for Al-Ula, where she and her team are making significant and successful on-the-ground efforts to fight desertification and restore life to the historic oasis of Al-Ula, Saudi Arabia.
I am Sharaan. I work for the Royal Commission for Al-Ula in the Habitat Regeneration and Landscaping Department. So we are restoring large swathes of the rangeland in the nature reserves in Al-Ula, which obviously contributes to desertification control. So I think particularly for the UNCCD, it's important that Saudis are having good representation here. It's the first COP that's being held in the Middle East and North Africa, which is likely going to be one of the regions that experiences the most significant impacts from climate change and is therefore most vulnerable to desertification. The Saudi Green Initiative is doing a lot of work and investing a lot in desertification control and aiming to plant 10 billion trees and restore a large part of Saudi Arabia. They're aiming for 30% of the land area in Saudi to be under some form of protection by 2030.
People know Saudi Arabia as a desert, but the desert itself has its beauty. The desert for us is something that we are proud of, and we find so many beauty in the desert. We have so many variety in the fauna and the flora. So we are so glad to work on these objectives, and hopefully the next generations will remember what we are doing for the sake of their environment.
We're looking forward to the UNCCD Goodwill Ambassadors coming to visit us in Al-Ula after they've seen the global initiatives here at UNCCD COP, seeing sort of the large-scale policy work that's being done internationally, but then seeing how that then comes down into a local context in Al-Ula and what's actually been done on the ground to meet some of these objectives.
The UNCCD Goodwill Ambassadors travel to Al-Ula, a desert oasis and home to the incredible UNESCO World Heritage Site, Hegra. As the ambassadors explore the breathtaking site of this ancient civilization, they are reminded of the fragility of our own.
Absolutely magnificent. That's all that I can say about it. I mean, it's moments like these, it's places like these in Al-Ula that give me a great understanding as to how insignificant we are. And how insignificant we are, not only in size, but in the entire scheme of time. What we are doing by not being responsible citizens of this planet is that we are creating an inhospitable environment for ourselves.
Yeah.
And the planet will obviously thrive without us, just like these rocks have survived.
It's so important to realize how powerful nature is and how we need to live in harmony with it. Nature is giving us so much and is accomplishing so much services for humankind. And in return, we have spent the past centuries just carelessly destroying it. And now we are at a point where we have to sit with ourselves and really make sure that the next generation won't inherit a terrible planet. The work that we are doing now, the seed that we are sowing, other hands are going to harvest it.
Here, where the ancient whispers of trade routes and civilizations linger, the ambassadors find inspiration and a stage for collaboration.
Music is a universal language, You don't need to investigate or try to understand. You just feel it.
We jarabi na aluma jarabi jarabi aluma jarabi jangarubi badigal adun jarabi kelem.
Music has no boundaries. It has no frontiers. It's just that it can transport you anywhere in the world. And that's something as human beings we aspire to. But unfortunately, for many reasons, we cannot. But we can connect with people from India, from Saudi, from Senegal, so many different places. And just through music bond.
Music is their language, a universal thread weaving cultures, stories, and solutions together. But Al-Ula is more than a great recording location. It is a testament to resilience. At the Sharaan Nature Reserve, Saudi Arabia is rewriting its relationship with the land.
We're at our native plant nursery and seed bank. And so here we collect seeds from the nature reserves and store them here in our seed bank, but then also propagate them and grow them ready to be used in ecological restoration sites across our 6 nature reserves. This is our climate-controlled greenhouse. So once the seeds are initially propagated, they're moved into here for the first 8 weeks while they can sort of start to get a good growth established. And then they're moved outside.
So are they not native to here? I mean, why do they need all of this special treatment?
All the plants here are native.
Wow.
We collect the seeds from the nature reserves. So we absolutely don't plant anything that isn't native to Al-Ula because we're trying to establish the native ecosystems here that can thrive in these harsh conditions. We are in the process of restoring our targeted 65,000 hectares.
65,000, wow.
So all the plants that we're growing here will eventually find their way out into the nature reserves.
So what's the end goal of all of this?
So we want to bring back the native ecosystems to Al-Ula. They've been degraded over the past few decades. So we need to bring back the self-sustaining ecosystems. So we'll have these initial plantings, manage them for a few years, but eventually we want it to be able to develop on its own. What a lot of people don't understand when they're in Al-Ula and they're looking out at the landscapes is they think that's what the landscapes are supposed to look like. You know, we're in a desert, it should be a desert. But what people don't understand is it's not actually how it should look. The habitats are degraded. My department, we're restoring 65,000 hectares of the nature reserves by 2035 is our goal, with the hope of having that full sort of self-sustaining ecosystem back and thriving in Al-Ula. We're very fortunate in Saudi because we do have very significant government support for restoration. Hopefully publishing some of our research can help beyond Al-Ula and beyond Saudi so that they can see some of the methods and some of our data and see how it might be able to apply to their situation in other arid environments. So this is our first restoration site. So it's the first 5,000 hectares we are aiming to restore out of our 65,000 hectares. Today we're going to contribute a little bit, put a few plants in the ground, small hole to dig, tap out the plant and then pop it in the ground and cover it up.
What I wish is people from everywhere in the world also do projects like this. It will help our planet to really breathe again.
This is how deserts are transformed. One seed, one effort, one vision at a time.
The work we're doing here is a massive project and it's going to take a long time for us to see the native ecosystems fully established back in Al-Ula. But this work is something we can be incredibly proud of, and local people here, people of Saudi, are incredibly proud of the efforts being made across the country. It's a real privilege to have Ricky, Baaba and Ina visit us here as UN Goodwill Ambassadors to raise awareness for what we're doing here.
The main driver of land degradation in the world is we as human beings. We have degraded 40% of the land today. 1.5 billion hectares of land can still be restored.
Science is not holding back the solution. The key is, how do we make it possible for countries to do it? And that's the investment.
Every single dollar invested in land restoration can bring up to $30 of benefits to humanity. It is much cheaper to restore the land and store the carbon back to the land rather than trying to have techniques and technologies to capture the carbon. And at the same time, by restoring land, we also fight against poverty, we reduce forced migration in the world, we reduce conflicts, competition for access to land and water. So in total, it is actually the cheapest solution to climate.
As the sun sets over Al-Ula, the sound of change echoes through the raw canyons. The ambassadors sing songs as a reminder that the fight against desertification is not just about restoring land. It's also about restoring hope. Across continents and cultures, the mission is clear: to reclaim degraded land and secure a future for generations to come. The ambassadors have seen, sung, and learned. Now, the baton passes to us all, to protect and restore our land, one act of service at a time.
La ilaha illallah, Sayyidina Muhammad Rasul. Anwani sababu medene duna Muhammad, sababu medene duna ha, oh ya duna.